All right, welcome everybody to the presentation. My name is Trevor, and I'm going to be your presenter. One of the things that we should be doing on our WordPress site right now, while we're adding content to it, and that's really where we're at on this process, is we've chosen our niche, we've set up our site, we've done some basic design on it, right? And I'll switch right over here to my site so you can see it. This one is Albion Strawberry. This is the one we've been talking about over the last few weeks. You get some content on the site. I now have 4 articles. The one that was written for this week was kind of a weak article. Albion Strawberry Taste. I did a little keyword research, and that's something that people care about, people search for. I wrote something up really simple, put a picture on it, and that was my article. Not great content, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really delve into how the strawberry tastes versus other strawberries. Could have done a better job here. And I was pressed for time. So, and you guys are going to feel that way too as you do your blog. You're going to get pressed for time. You're not going to be able to crank out as much content as you want to. That's of course just going to happen. So, and it happened to me this week. So, kind of a weak article. Could do better. I can always go in and edit this later. But so far, I've got 4 articles on the site. I think I want to get up to around 10, 15, maybe 20 articles, really well written, before I start even thinking about posting ads on the site. Need to have some good content for the search engines to chew on, as well as for people who come and visit my site to chew on. Okay, so that's where we're at on the process. We're not quite there yet to add advertising, but we're certainly making our way there. One thing that you guys should do tonight, though, if you haven't done it already, those of you guys who have your sites going, you need to add Google Analytics to your site. Okay. Somebody tell me who knows what that is. What is Google Analytics? I'm going to click right over to it right now. This is google.com/analytics. Somebody tell me what this does. First of all, it's free. Doesn't cost anything. It is a Google product. It's for webmasters like you and me. What do we do with Google Analytics? Must not be familiar because I'm not getting a lot of response. Oh, there you go. Shows your traffic. Yep. Robert, you're right on. It's like a traffic tracking software. Okay. So what does that mean? That means just it's a way for us to see how many people are actually coming to visit our site. I got a question from one of you guys. I just responded back. It's leaving my mind. I'm not even sure who asked the question. But they asked, how can I? Oh, it was Giselle. Giselle, if you're here, it was you who asked this question. You're asking, how can I see where I'm ranking in Google? Because she's got a website up right now, and she's just wondering, where she's at in Google and if people are finding her. Well, this is the answer right here. You need to have Google Analytics, because Google Analytics will tell you if you're getting traffic or not to your site. We need that so that we can figure out what of our content is actually producing traffic. As you get creating content, you're going to see that some things that you write about are very popular and get a lot of visitors, and then therefore will pay you a lot. And then you're going to find that other things that you write about, nobody really cares about, nobody looks at, doesn't rank well in Google, and it's more of a waste of time. The only way to figure that out is to produce your content. But using Google Analytics, we'll be able to figure out what content is working. Okay? All right, so here's how you do it. Google.com/analytics. That's how you'll start. You're going to come over here and we're going to sign in to Google Analytics. They have a premium version. You don't need it. You just use the free version. We're going to sign up. Now, usually you need to have a Gmail account. It may make you sign in to like a Google Gmail account. So I would encourage you guys, if you don't have one already, set up a Gmail account. Gmail.com, have one for your business. I set up a new one for this one. It's albionstrawberry@gmail.com. So have a Gmail account. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, and hopefully this helps you a little bit. Kathy, you were saying this was a little blurry. Well, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this better. Under account name, Albion Strawberry. Under website name, albionstrawberry.com. I got to register my account here. Website URL, www.albionstrawberry.com. Industry, just choose what's closest. There's an other category here at the bottom if you can't find something that's close. I'm home and garden for sure. Time zone, I'm mountain time. And you can keep all of these checked. That's just fine. Says the data sharing options give you more control over sharing your Google Analytics data. You can share it with Google. Anyway, just leave all those checked. And then we're going to hit this button right here, Get Tracking ID. Okay? So I'm going to hit I accept. Here's the terms and conditions. We'll accept those terms and conditions, and then here we are. It loads me into my analytics account. Now it takes me to this tracking info page. Okay? So I'm going to grab my tracking info. This is my tracking code right here. Okay? Let me zoom in on this so you know just exactly what you're looking for. This nasty little bit of code starts with a script, and then it fills in with all this code and then ends with a script end tag. We need this. In fact, we need to copy this verbatim and paste it into our website. Okay? So I'm going to take this code right here. I'm going to highlight it just like I did. I'm going to right-click on top of it, and I'm going to copy. Okay? So I've got the code. Don't try to type this into your site. You'll make a mistake, and then it won't work. It has to be exactly like this. And Catherine, I don't prefer to use any plugins or any of the presets that might come on your WordPress site about Google Analytics. I like to install it this way. There's other ways you can do it, but I feel like this way is a surefire way to make sure it gets set up correctly. So that's why I'm showing it to you this way. Okay. All right. So we've got our code. We've got our code copied, right? Is everybody with me so far on what we're doing here? Questions so far on this? Because all we've done is we've gone to google.com/analytics. That's the web address. We've signed up for an account. You guys just watched me do that, and now we've got the code right here we're copying. Okay, so here we go. I've got it copied. Now let me go back to my WordPress site. Now I'm going to go into my WordPress dashboard. It's going to look like this. You guys should all recognize this if you have a WordPress site. Okay. Now I'm actually going to go here to Appearance, and I'm going to go to actually no, I may not do Appearance. Let's see. Whoops. Sorry, it's zoomed in so much. I've got to back out of this a little bit so I can tell you just exactly where to go. This is working just a little bit differently. Hold on just a sec. All right, so we're going to do it through a plugin. I was thinking initially we would maybe have you guys do this through adding it into the code of your site. That's probably not wise. I like to keep you guys out of the code because if you make a mistake in the code, it can sometimes mess things up on the site. So sometimes adding a plugin would be your safest bet, and that's what we'll do today. So plugins, I'm going to come here, the plugins in the menu. Let me zoom back in so you guys can see better. Plugins, and then I'm going to go to Add New up here at the top. And we're going to look for Google Analytics like that. I'm just going to do a search in the plugins, and I'm going to try to find Google Analytics, okay? Now, you'll see a lot of things that come up here. I think ultimately what I'd have you do is just this first one. You can see there's 500 plus active installs. So that means this is used often by a whole ton of people. So this will probably be the one we use. Let's test it out and let's see how it works, okay? So I'm just going to go here to install now. I'm going to install my plugin. And then I'm going to activate my plugin. Okay? So I've now activated my Google Analytics plugin. Now, once it's activated, I should be able to find the plugin. It's over here in Settings. So I'm going to go Settings and then Google Analytics. And I need to put in my web property ID. So I guess we probably won't need the entire code, it looks like. I'm going to go back to my Google Analytics and I'm going to see if I can find my web property ID. Well, here it is right here. I'm back on my Google Analytics. It's just above the tracking code. Here was our tracking code we were going to copy. Instead, we're going to just use this one right here. Okay? UA-6921, et cetera, et cetera. Your number is going to be different than mine. So let's copy this. Don't try to type it in. Just copy it so you can make sure you get it right. Let's paste it right here. Save changes. Okay? And we're done. Now, what does that mean then? Well, you're not going to track your analytics here on WordPress. I prefer to track them on Google Analytics. So that means here in about, my guess is probably 24 hours. I'll check this tomorrow to make sure it worked. But I can come back into Google Analytics. I can click on this Home tab here. I'll save my preferences. If you ever get to this screen right here, you can go to All Website Data right here. And if I click on that, it's going to take me into this this big sort of, and you'll see it right here. There's kind of this line right here. This is your Google Analytics dashboard. Google Analytics is a very, very robust piece of software. It's supposed to show you more information than you probably ever wanted to know about the traffic coming to your site. It'll tell you where they come from. It'll tell you how long they're on your site. It'll tell you how they found you. I mean, to the point where it'll tell you, did they come from Google or Bing or Yahoo, or it'll actually tell you what keyword they search. So back to Giselle, your question. Giselle, are you even here right now? I didn't even check to look. No, I don't see Giselle here. But back to Giselle's original question about how do I see if people are actually finding my site. This will tell the story. It's going to tell you which blog posts are most popular. And we'll do some work on this together once you guys get this established on your site. But the important thing is to get it done early so that I can log back in here in a week or so, and we can look at the statistics together and see if there's really any action going on my site, even though I haven't done any promotion. I've just posted some content. Okay. So I know you don't see any data here. That's okay. I'm gonna let me click out of this educational. This is called Analytics Education. It'll take you through how to use analytics a little bit. I'm just going to click out of this, and we'll go back anyway. You'll see when you get in here. I won't really show you around analytics, but it looks like everything's set up just fine. Now, if you wanted to try a different plugin, you could. I mean, the thing about plugins on WordPress is there's lots of different ways to skin a cat, and that's absolutely true. You've got probably 10 or 15 different plugins that would work for installing Google Analytics. So I can go back to plugins and do a search. I'll go to Add New up here, Plugins, Add New, do a search for Google Analytics, and I could find another plugin that would work. better Google Analytics. I could try that. This one right here looks kind of interesting. Easily view your Google Analytics and real-time statistics inside WordPress. Makes it super simple to add your tracking code too. That could be one that we try out doing. I'll install this and we'll take a look at it. You probably don't want multiple plugins for the same thing, but I'm going to just show you this one and we'll see how it looks. So it's activated. I can go to settings on it. I need to make sure, once you activate a plugin with Google Analytics, you still have to connect your analytics account that you created. So let's see, settings. It's not here. It's probably just right here. Google Analyticator settings. I'll click on. Okay. So you need to sign into Google and grant this plugin access to your Google Analytics account. Click here or here. Okay, so let's click on that, and it says that it wants connection to my WordPress, so I'm going to hit allow. It says please copy this code, so I'm going to copy that. It needs me to paste it here, save and continue. Okay. So it looks like that did it. That connected me. So the Google Analytics integration is currently disabled. We can probably hit enabled here. And we can save changes. View on your dashboard, click here. This is giving me Google Analytics on my WordPress dashboard. Anyway, I haven't tested these plugins. Based on the ratings, it looks like they're pretty good. But why don't we do this? I'm going to leave both of these on. You guys can test out some different ones. I don't really care how you do it, just as long as you have Google Analytics installed. Here's my new Google Analytics. It looks like, and we'll see how they go. I'm going to test them out here for a week, and then you guys can see next week, if there's any data here, and which I'll give you kind of a little more feedback on which method I like. But I thought I would do it this way tonight, just to show you guys the power of plugins. Again, there's virtually a plugin for everything. Catherine, I know you emailed me a few minutes ago about how one of the editors, the WYSIWYG editor inside inside one of your WordPress post. I guess I'll show you guys an example of that. If I did a new post and I was writing content just like I normally would, I guess your complaint or issue, Catherine, was that this toolbar wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of editing you could do here, and so you could go and you can search for plugins that are better for your WYSIWYG, that'll improve that'll give it more options and more tools. I've used this analogy a lot, but plugins are to WordPress as apps are to the iPhone. It just makes your experience a little bit better. But I won't go into all of that. I just wanted to show you guys tonight Google Analytics and how to install that on your side. And it looks like with the two plugins that I've done, I can either track my analytics right here in WordPress, or like I showed you just a minute ago, we can go over here to google.com/analytics, and I should be able to start tracking it there. Let me just show you what it'll look like one more time. Google.com/analytics. And now that I'm all set up, I can just come over here and sign in to Google Analytics. I've already got my account. It's by default going to take me to a page like this, and this is how I'm going to be able to start tracking my data. Don't get too excited about this yet, guys, because we're not going to have a lot of data to track. You're just barely getting content onto your sites right now. But this will become very, very useful as time goes by. And if you need a little training on Google Analytics, we do have something for that. If you come back into our playlist section in YouTube, I'll show you the webinar. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's number 12. So if you want to see a tutorial and a case study on using Google Analytics, look at number 12, and that's gonna talk to you all about it. Okay, we'll do more of that as we get some data into this one. Okay, so let me look back at some of your questions real quick, and then we'll get all finished up. Catherine, you ask, Annette, yes, you do. Let me go above yours, Catherine, real quick. So Annette asks, do we add this code to our e-commerce store website? You do. Talk to your coach about that. They can show you how to do that if you haven't already. This Google Analytics belongs on an e-commerce store just like it belongs on an affiliate informational website. You can do it for both. Number 11 sort of shows you how to do it for a Volusion site if you haven't already. Okay. Catherine, you say, what about the one that says Google Analytics dashboard for WordPress? I guess that's probably what we just did there. That must be the plugin that you were talking about. Again, guys, I'll just show you again, plugins right here. I can click Add New. I can do a search, Google Analytics, and you can find one that you like. We did this one right here, and we did this one right here. This one could be nice. Yeah, this one has 600,000 plus installs. The ratings are 4.5 stars. This one looks good. Maybe we do this one real quick. I'm going to hit install. Activate plugin. Let's go to settings right here. We're in our plugins. So Google Analytics dashboard for WordPress, settings. We can either authorize plugin or use your own API project credentials. Let me click on that. No, that's going to be tougher to do. I don't want to do that. Let's do authorize plugin. Needs an access code, so I'm going to hit get access code. I'm going to hit allow here. It sort of just syncs in with my Google account, it looks like, which is really nice. So I'm going to grab this code. I'm going to paste it, save access code. Yep, looks good. It grabbed all my information. Okay, so I'm going to save changes. And there we go. We're all set. So it looks like these are, now I've got 2 different analytics here on my left-hand menu. I'll try them both this week, and I'll let you know which one I like better. Alan, yours is set up. Yep. You don't have to worry about any of this. Yours is done for you. Okay. Well, cool, guys. So anyway, now I hope this isn't too confusing, because now in theory I've got 3 different Google Analytics plugins. You only need one, right? I just thought what we would do is just try a few out together, and I'll tell you next week which one I think is good, and we'll look at the tracking on all of them. Bottom line is, it looks like I've got 3 that should all work. We'll just see what we like. Yeah, and I do. I recommend this for any website you have, whether it's e-commerce or an affiliate site. Yes, Google Analytics should be there. Because think about if it weren't, right? You guys would never know how much traffic you're getting. The only way you could tell if your site was doing well is if you're getting sales or you're making money off of your affiliate ads, but you'd never know how many visitors are coming. You'd never know which pages of your website are most popular. And that's critical. I remember back when I used to do a little bit of blogging on my finance site, I did a lot of different topics, and I found some of the best trafficked topics, the ones that people were coming to my site most for, had to do with gas prices. And so I started to write more about gas prices and why they go up and down, and what constitutes the price that you pay at the pumps. And I found that started to shoot my traffic through the roof. But I never would have known that had I not had some sort of software telling me what pages people were looking at. So it's pretty powerful stuff. It's all free. Nothing you guys need to pay for here. You just got to get it installed, and hopefully today I've shown you how to get it installed. Okay? All right. Gail, it is on yours. Gail, you don't have to worry about it either. It's not on your affiliate site you're going to be working on, but it will be on your e-commerce site. Okay, all right, guys. Well, that's it tonight. I don't think I'm going to give you anything else. If you're here at this point, get your analytics on your site. Let me know if you have any trouble with it, and then we'll follow up on it next week. In addition to doing some other things to help you guys push along what you're doing for your affiliate marketing. Okay. All right. Let me just real quick so I don't miss any questions. Let me just check. Oh, I did. Actually, I didn't, Michelle, because I didn't see you here. Michelle earlier was asking about comments. Let me show you, Michelle, and everybody else who's curious about comments, how those work. You've got a comment section right here. You'll see everybody will have it on their WordPress right here. It says comments. And comments are when people come and they leave a comment on a blog post. For example, if I come out to my website, you'll notice that there's an option here to leave a comment under any of my posts. Okay? Somebody could leave a comment. Okay? Somebody who just randomly finds my site. Trevor. Okay, and they leave a comment. Somebody leaving me feedback, they've got a different opinion on what I'm writing about, they've got something to add to it, whatever. They leave a comment, they hit post comment. Now, the way most of you guys have it set up is that comment, once it's posted, won't actually go on the site. See right here how it says your comment is waiting moderation. In other words, this isn't going to show up on the site until I, as the author, approve it. So if I come here to my WordPress, it's forcing me to sign in real quick. And I go to my comments section, I'll probably see this new comment. It's going to be kind of in a red box, which means it needs moderation. So I can put my mouse here and I can either approve it or trash it. If I approve it, it's going to show up on the site. If I trash it, it's not. Now, what you guys have to decipher for yourself is if your comments are actually legit. Michelle, I know for a fact, because I looked at your comments, that the majority of those were spam comments. You're going to get some spam that's going to show up here. Thanks to that plugin, Askamet, it's catching your spam and not letting it go on your site. But it does come here in this comment section, and if you find that this is really a legit comment, then you'll approve it. If it's not, you can hit trash and it goes away. Just about as easy as that. We'll spend more time on comments later, but hopefully that at least gives you the gist of it, Michelle. Megan, you say when you choose one of these plugins, do you choose it based on personal preference or on the way it functions? Yes, both. I mean, I use Google Analytics kind of the old-fashioned way. As long as I get it connected to my site, I usually go back in and log into Google Analytics by going to google.com/analytics and looking at my data there. These plugins do some cool things where they'll show your Google Analytics inside your WordPress. And, like anything, I would read through the reviews and see if it's any good. One of those that we just downloaded, let's go back to it, plugins, add new, Google Analytics. One of those wasn't super good. It was, Google Analyticator. Even though it has 400 plus active installs, it was 3.5 stars. Google Analytics here was 4 stars, and this one was by far the best, 4.5 stars at 600,000 active installs. And you could go through and look at some others. I'm sure there's some others here that we're not looking at, but anyway, it's just like anything. You download an app, you look at the reviews. I'll tell you guys more next week which one I like. Okay, let me turn off the recording real quick. Guys, if you're watching this recorded, thanks for being here. Get your analytics onto your site. Let me know if you have questions.